a disruption, when it occurs, whether it is a sudden traumatic disruption like a shooting, or whether it's more incremental, although it's really hard to think of the pandemic as incremental because it came upon us so fast, right? I mean, like just overnight, we're like in some kind of lockdown situation. But I think that in another sense, though, the pandemic is a little bit more slower rolling at this point, and it continues to be a disruption. But in either case, whether that disruption is sudden and traumatic, or whether it is incremental and perhaps just as traumatic, disruption can really have an impact on the culture of an organization. And some of what you've been talking about already, Lamar, makes me think that this had to have some really significant impacts on the culture of Excel Industries, both the shooting and also the pandemic. Can you speak a little bit to the issue of culture?
Oh, absolutely. And it has changed the culture. And honestly, some of it are in ways that maybe we wish it wouldn't have. You know, prior to the shooting, we were a company where you could come in, talk to whomever you needed to talk to. We were definitely seen as a very open part of the community and very accessible. That's not the case anymore. So that culture has changed. We do have a security protocol and personnel that we put into place that our employees are very appreciative of. But that has changed the culture. Other things, however, I think have been quite positive in the sense that we are really working hard at communicating with the employees, having them a part of these conversations. I'll give you an example, and we've been doing this for some time, and wasn't my idea, it was the production director's idea. We have birthday celebrations every month, and we're talking total of 600 employees, right? But we get together once a month with those who have birthdays and say, okay, what is it that we should start doing? What is it we should stop doing? And what is it you want us to continue to do? And that's the theme of our conversations. Those are the kinds of things that we put into place so that we can find ways to have this conversation and relationship with those employees at a different level than we've had before. So there's been some really positive culture changes there. When we take a look at the pandemic, again, that's changed us in a lot of ways. Like, okay, so you're going to need to stay home until you get a test result back. Plus, we're going to contact, the people you've had contact with. So let's create that list. Today I had a conversation with a gentleman who said, I was in contact with somebody that came to visit and they turned up positive. So what do I need to do? So, we walked through that together. And there is a lot more caretaking and helping people make some decisions, I think, that are really important for them and obviously important for the company. I'm really impressed with the idea of being able to be nimble and not feel like we have to go back and do things the same old way because we're familiar with them. Being able to take a look at, and I know lots of companies are doing this and organizations, how do you bring people back into the offices after they've been off for so long? How do you do it in a way that they feel safe and comfortable and looking forward to it? And how do people feel safe by the kinds of things you put in place for them? So the culture has changed in a lot of good ways. In some ways, areas where you feel a little bit of loss, but overall, I feel that it's been a good move. Another area that I think a lot of organizations and companies are working with is giving people the space not to be at work. Boy, that's a tough one. We're in manufacturing, right? We're putting out so many mowers a day, and you need people there to do those jobs. But they have someone home who's sick, or they are fearful of being there, or back in the time of the shooting, psychologically they just cannot come back to work. We had people who were out for over a year that we kept on our roll, saying, when you can come back and when you're ready to come back, we'll walk you through. And we brought those people back. Not all of them. Some could not make it. But fact that we gave them the room to do that, I think, I feel very good about those choices, even though we had people on our rolls who were not producing lawnmowers. When you get right down to it, in a business, that's what you're looking to do. So it does change your culture and how you approach working with your employees. And in the long run, you build, I think, a better culture, and you build loyalty, and you build a good relationship.